It's live. Give it a few minutes for a few people to
So
show.
exciting.
Yes, it is. Thank you for being on the show,
I know.
Eileen.
I've never done anything like this, like the live. Like I've done like real like in-person interviews, and so this is exciting. I like this.
Are you kidding? You do a live show in front of people right in front.
No, I'm talking about like digitally, like on a phone.
Oh,
I think I like this better actually.
nice.
Yeah.
All right, well let's go in and get started.
Okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Ray Salem with Authentic Real Talk, and I have a special treat for you. I have Ilene Delgado. She's 16 years old, a comedian, and she opens up for Jeff Garcia. He's a legend here in the Inland Empire, so she's definitely making a big splash in the comedy scene. So without further ado, put your hands together for Ilene Delgado.
Hey, crowd goes wild. What's up, everyone?
Ilene, I know we just talked for maybe, I would say, total of 20 minutes. I feel like I've known you forever. Do you get that a lot? Like when you meet people, they feel connected with you?
Yeah, I feel like since I'm like so outgoing, I talk to people like I've known them forever. Like even when I first called you, I was like, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah,
you know?
I know.
I was just like, I feel like nothing is off limits. Like just be yourself and be fun.
No, that's awesome. And especially, I don't know if you know this, people had a choice either to die or to do public speaking.
Yes.
They choose death. They think public speaking is scarier than doing a public speaking. So how do you do it? You're 16, and tell me, when did you get started?
Yeah, and it's so crazy that you mentioned that, because Jeff, always my mentor, he always tells me that, like right before I get on stage, he's like, "This is the #1 fear," and I'm like, "Thanks, you're making me feel a lot more better." I'm like, "Thanks, what a pep talk, you know?" But no, he's great. It actually kind of boosts my confidence a little. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I got this." I'm like, "All right," you know. It's kind of like this little superpower that no one else has.
Yes.
But yeah, I got into comedy when I was 14. And I've been doing acting ever since I was 8. So doing acting.
Why did you choose comedy? You're like, you know what? I want to do comedy. Why did you choose it?
It was it was pretty much because all of Eddie Murphy. It was Eddie Murphy that really inspired that. I know. I was around 7 years old and I seen his special Raw. Well, not seen it, but I seen a little part, and my parents were like laughing and they were dying, and I was like, I came over here being all nosy. I'm like, like, what are y'all laughing at?
Okay, which version? The PG-13 or the rated R version? Because
they were watching the rated R version.
I gotta talk to your mom.
No. I was never allowed to watch it. I was never allowed to watch it until.
Is that what you told them?
But no. I really never watched it as like at 7. And I just seen my parents watching and they were dying. And I walked in the room. I was like, what's going on here? And they were like, oh, we're watching comedy. Skedaddle. And I was just like, no, what's going on? And they're like, that's Eddie Murphy. And I didn't know who Eddie Murphy was. So they had to explain it to me. They're like, he's a comedian. And I was like, a chameleon? I was like, I want to be a chameleon. And Mom was like, no, baby, a comedian. And I was like, whatever it is, he's making fun of his family and I want to do it. And I was 7 years old.
7?
And then,
wow.
And then ever since that day, I remember I think when I was 8, my parents bought me a karaoke machine. And you have a daughter, right?
Oh yes, she's 8.
Yeah, okay, 8. So I don't know if she's ever watched Monster High.
Yes.
Okay, so like the little Dracula and like the Frankenstein daughters and all that. Well, my parents bought me a Monster High karaoke machine, and that karaoke machine, I dragged it everywhere, and I would do stand-up comedy.
So did they regret it?
I don't know. I think they're pretty happy with their choice now. I mean, but yeah, they bought me that karaoke machine, and I'm telling you, I would go everywhere with that karaoke machine. Like every party we had, I would go and make all my family sit in a circle, and I'd be right in the middle, like making fun of them.
Wow.
Yeah, at 8 years old, and I never really thought that it would be like part of me, that like my soul would be like completely intertwined with comedy, but I never thought anything of it. And as I got older, 8, or I don't know, I did it at 8. And then as I grew older, I just never really cared about it anymore until I was 13. And I begged my parents, I'm like, there has to be some type of improv group I could do. When I was 13, I was like, there has to be. And my parents were like, you're 13, like there's no improv group. Like that doesn't exist for you. And I was like, well, if I'm doing acting, obviously, there should be some type of improv or something that has to do with comedy. And then my parents try to call flappers. My parents try to call everywhere. My parents were like, my daughter wants to be a comedian. How does she do it? Like, is there any classes she could take? They told us no, obviously. And then one beautiful day, I was going to acting class. I was 14 years old, and Felipe Esparza, he's this good, well-known comic. He has HBO specials, all that. He has his own podcast. And he goes to the same acting class as me, and my parents and him started talking. Somehow it came up that I wanted to be a comic, and next thing I knew, he told us about Laugh Factory Comedy Camp, the world's famous Laugh Factory. Everyone knows about it. And they do a free comedy camp for kids who just want to learn the ropes of comedy.
Let me guess, you won.
Yeah. No, it wasn't a competition.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't a competition, but if it were to be a competition, I'm just kidding. No. I mean, there was some really good kids, I have to say. Like, there was some really good kids, but I'm telling you, when I went to comedy camp at Laugh Factory, I took it so serious. I've never been in a stage, like I've never stood on a stage before. I've never public speak. Like I've done school talent shows, but I just did dancing, and that was in the 5th grade. And now I was 14, so that's been some time. So I went up there and I just tried my hand at it, and I was really good. And I'm not even trying to sound cocky or anything. Like I was good, and I did it. And I'm telling you,
what do you do? You impersonate, or what do you do? Like
I would just tell stories, try to impersonate. I would just pretty much add punchlines into daily things.
What was the first story that you told?
Oh God,
the fun story.
They're trying to get me in trouble. I had some jokes about my uncle. Yeah, and it's kind of tore the family apart. But yeah,
I definitely want to hear it now. I definitely want to hear it. What is it?
But I'm telling you, now he doesn't care. Now he's like, and he actually went to my show when the night I had to perform it. And I remember my dad and me were in the backstage of Laugh Factory. And we're backstage, and he's yelling at me. He's like, "You will not perform this in front of your uncle." And I'm like, "I'm grown," and I'm like, I'm like, "You can't censor me." I'm not talking bad. I'm not cussing. I'm like, I want to be a comedian, and if I have to tear my family down, I'm just kidding. No, to do it, then I gotta do it. But no, I mean, he forgave me, and it was just some silly jokes. It got laughs. I was happy, but he probably was embarrassed. But I mean, it's okay. I tell jokes even about my mom now. I talk about my dad. I talk about my grandma. I talk about being in special ed. I just talk.
Yeah, mention that you were in special ed. Can you tell us more about it, please?
Yeah. So I'm in special ed. So what I have, when I tell people I'm in special ed, everyone's like, "Let me see." I'm like, "Let me see." I'm like, "Wait, you want to pull out my test scores?" I'm like, but yeah, people don't believe I'm in special ed, but I have dyslexia. So, and I'm very proud of it. Like when people ask me about it, I'm like, "Yeah, I have dyslexia." Like I want it to be a very nonchalant thing, because it's really not all that serious that people try to make it. Like obviously we struggle, but it's not like, "Oh, she's in special ed, it's a secret." Like, no, like I'm in special ed, and that's okay. Like it should be known.
Well,
so yes, I have.
I just want to let you know, I know I told you before we started. My respect for you was right here. Yeah. But when I found out you had dyslexia, my respect just went up a little bit even higher.
Yeah.
And for some of you that don't know what dyslexia is, basically when you open up a book, most of us, we read from left to right, but dyslexia, the words literally start jumbling, and you start reading from right to left. I mean, sideways. Every person is different. So basically, you have to work twice, sometimes 3 times as hard just to read.
Yeah.
And you made it. And how do you write your jokes? Is it hard or is it easy?
No, it's actually like you would think like it would be pretty hard for me, and that was actually one of my fears, like writing jokes, and it wasn't so much the public speaking part, because public speaking has always been my thing. I like even in school, presentations were always easy, but when it came to the writing part, I'm like, "Yeah, you got this," but I would give it to someone else. But yeah, I know I didn't really fear the writing so much. it was just kind of like, I was kind of nervous, but not really. I was like, if it happens, it happens. If I get nervous along the way, and honestly, I've been doing a lot of improv lately. So, I mean, writing jokes isn't really hard for me or anything like that. So I make it work.
So that's awesome. So, okay. So you went onto this school and you killed it.
Yeah.
So tell me about the moment when Jeff Garcia gave you that chance.
Yes.
For him. I want you to give me the details. Like how did he get to that point?
Okay. So
I know he gave it to you not because he liked you. He did it because he saw some potential in you. I'm sure.
Yeah, no, most definitely. And I'm so grateful to Jeff, honestly. Like, he has been such a big asset in my life. Like, he has taught me so much, even just about, like, working around the club and, like, making sure, like the door sales and all that stuff. Like, that's so many, I never thought, like, I thought comedy was just, like, you tell a couple of jokes and you go. And no, it's really, it's hard. It's a big thing. And so Jeff has really helped me with that. Like, I know so much now. And the day I met Jeff, it was crazy because I didn't want to go to Laugh Factory that day. I was not feeling good. I had a big migraine. I was just like, I can't do it today. And then my mom was like, okay, I'll call, Jamie Masada's assistant and tell her that you're not coming today. And I sat down and I was like, and I had an epiphany. I was like, no, this is what I want. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to treat Laugh Factory, the camp, like a job. So that's exactly what I did. I was like, no, I'm going to get an ice pack and I'm just going to, do it ice my head in the car and I'm popping Advil and we're going. And my mom was like, are you sure? And I was like, I just had a feeling that day. I was like, no, I probably sound so stupid right now. But no, I really had a feeling. I was like, I cannot miss today. I don't know why, but something just wouldn't let me miss. And I'm so glad I didn't because I met my mentor. So I went to Laugh Factory, I did my thing, and I was actually mad that day because when I was sitting down, all the other kids were going before me. And I was always the first kid to go up. They would say, okay, on the roster, because they had a roster, and who would go up first with all, like, the mentors and all the other
So in entertainment, is it better to go first or go last?
I preferred going first, okay. But Jeff was late that day. Okay. So thank God.
It worked out.
Thank God I was last, okay? So all the kids went first. I remember I was sitting there so angry. I was like, I should have never even came today. I'm last. I was being so petty. And then they said, okay, Jeff just walked in. When I was up, Jeff just walked in and he sat down. And I remember like, oh, I was so mad. And then they're like, okay, Ilene Delgado. And I was like, finally. So I get up and I was so energized. And I was just so happy to be on stage at that point. Cause I'm telling you the whole time, I was like probably 4 weeks into camp at Laugh Factory and I've never been last. I was always first. Mm-hmm. And I did my thing. I did my set, even though I was last and I was upset about it, but I rocked it. And, I did it, my set, and Jeff pulled me up on the stage, and he was like, Delgado, and I was like, okay. And then he was like he was just talking to me about comedy, and he was like, see, you did this, and you did that, and he told me all the good things I did, all the bad things I did, and we just started making jokes, and all the other kids were so annoyed. Because
why?
Because it was time to leave.
Haters.
Haters. No. They were mad because it was time to go. Because I think class let out at like 1. And it was already like 1:05, and Jeff kept talking to me, and he wouldn't let the other kids go. He's like, no, like, everyone, listen, this is a lesson for everybody. And like, he was trying to give a life lesson to everybody, but all the other kids were like, oh, okay. And I was just like, I was really into it, but and that's how I met my mentor. And then next thing I knew, we were doing a show, and then the other thing we were doing podcasts, and then we were at improv and flappers when I was trying to get into flappers like a year ago. And I was just like, wow, like, this is all it really took. I was like, okay, like, going to Laugh Factory is the best thing I have ever done.
That's awesome. So tell me about the first time you stepped on stage professionally.
Oh my God. It was at some like little, like, I don't know. It was like at like some bar, dine-in. It was something. Okay. And we were outside. And I walked in and someone died. It was a funeral. It was literally a funeral. Okay, I'm telling you. Like, everyone was depressed. And I was like, and Jeff's like, okay, after they're done doing the memorial, you're going to go up and tell jokes. I'm like, someone's dad died.
Are you joking with me right now?
No, I'm not even kidding. No, but honestly, I'm kind of thankful for it. Because the crowd was not even like they were feeling it. Like it wasn't even a bad night. Like it was actually like my first time getting on stage, and I was nervous, and I whispered to my mom's ear. I was like, let's just leave, and she was like, no, and I was like, it didn't hit me. Like I didn't even care. I was like, I'm gonna get on stage. I'm gonna rock it. It's not even gonna be a big deal. I went on stage, and it kind of affected me a little bit that it was like a funeral, you know, because like how am I supposed to like act like that? How am I supposed to be funny when everyone, you know, is sad? So I'm like, whatever. I get on, and I'm telling you, it was pretty great. I mean, it was a good experience. I cannot lie. It was fun.
So how did you start it? Like, you know, there was just a funeral, like, and you're the first one up.
Honestly, I'm trying to think. It was so long ago. You think I would remember? You think I would remember it way more? What happened? So I walked up, and I remember I sat on the chair.
Were you nervous?
No, really? I was more nervous that someone died.
I'm nervous just thinking about it.
I know. I wasn't nervous. I was nervous that someone died. I was like, is this rude? I was worried. Like, is this rude? Like, is this bad? Is this what? Like, are you sure?
Is it okay to laugh?
And, what?
Like, is it okay to laugh?
Yeah, I was like really upset, and I was even affected by it. I was like, oh my God, someone died, but it was whatever. But not that it was whatever, but the show went really well actually.
Okay.
And I remember, and I remember when I was on stage, I was so happy to be on stage that I was talking so fast, and people probably thought I was nervous, but I wasn't nervous. I was just so happy to be on stage. I was like, da 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 da, and I remember Jeff yelled across the room. He was like, "Slow down!" And I was like, who brought their dad to the bar? And the crowd guys started laughing. And I remember the crowd started laughing, and then at that moment, I was like, okay, a guy died, but that's not gonna stop us from having fun. Right. I'm like, so right. Then. I maybe did like 5 minutes. I didn't do long. I did like 5 minutes, and then I got off, and you know.
Man, and the thing is, when you hang around with your friends, do they tell you like, okay, go ahead, be funny, go? My
friends, when I'm at school, it's like the weirdest thing being at school. Like, because when people find out I'm a comedian, it's like they want me to finish stories for them. It's like so weird. It's the weirdest like interaction. Like I thought people were weird when I told them I was in special ed. No, people are weird when I tell them I'm a comedian. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a comedian, and they're like, really? And then they try to be extra funny around me, and I'm like, it's really, you don't gotta try. It's okay. Like I'm not judging you based on how funny you are. I'm like, you know, but
how does it feel? Like one day you're on stage professionally, 15 or 16 years old, and the next day like, oh, I gotta get up, I gotta go to school, I gotta do my homework.
I'm telling you. It blows me with a lot of hot air. I could tell you that much because when I'm in school, I think like, you know, like I'm just like I'm so funny, and like sometimes I even try to be funny with the teachers, and I just try to just throw jokes out there, and some of them have it, and some of them really like me, and some of them like throw jokes back, and they're like, ha, 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 like, you know, it's really fun, and some of them are not having it, and I don't know if it's like cultural reasons, because a lot of them who don't like my jokes are Asian. And so they're like really strict. So if I don't know if
I'm afraid to ask why.
I don't know if it's like a cultural thing that you're just not allowed to joke around with adults, or if it's that they genuinely think I'm stupid. But I get sent to the office by this one teacher who is Asian, and he hates me. He's so mean to me. He hates my jokes. He always tells me that, I don't know, he's so rude. And he's a special ed teacher too. And he's so mean to the special ed kids. Like, he's so mean. Oh God, I wish I could report him. But you know.
All right, I'm giving you permission. I'm Middle Eastern, I'm from Jordan.
Yeah.
I think we talked a little bit.
I love my friend.
And she's like, oh, you're Middle Eastern? I didn't know that. Then I said,
so cool.
Okay, it's the only funny thing for the day. I was like, why? Because I don't talk, hello, my friend, how are you today? You come by my 7-Eleven.
You get free Slurpee. It's on me. That's my friend.
How many accents can you do?
How many accents?
Yeah.
I could do a Chinese one.
Or impersonation or whatever.
What my God. Oh, I could do Fraser Smith.
All right, go for it.
The first day I met Fraser Smith, it was at like some bar and grill, and he's outside and he sees Jeff. He's like, "Oh, it's Jeff Garcia. Hi, Jeff. How you doing?" And then he was like, you want to be on my podcast? You guys want to be on my podcast? And then he was like, Jeff, you won't believe it, Jeff. And then Jeff's like, yeah, what? And then he was like, I seen George at Improv at Melrose. Oh, he's looking good. And I'm like, oh, George Lopez? Stupid. Of course they're talking about George Lopez. I had to open my big mouth. I look so stupid in front of Fraser Smith. He's like, yes, little girl, George. And I'm like, I was like, okay.
All right, who else can you impersonate?
Oh, man. Oh, my God, my grandma. Oh, my God. My grandma has the funniest accent, I'm telling you. My grandma, she moved to Texas, right? She moved to Texas for about 5 years, right? And she came back different. Like, my grandma used to be super whitewashed. You know, you could definitely tell she goes to the gym and she gets her Starbucks and she is from California. Okay. But the moment she moved to El Paso, Texas, she came back talking weird. She talks like this. And I'm telling you, every time we go to Starbucks, she talks weird. She's like, can I get some scones? Some scones. She doesn't even say scone. The proper word is scone with an N. She says Can I get a scone? A scone. And she calls.
I'm telling you, I lived in Texas for about maybe 8-9 months. I kid you not. You stopped picking up that accent. I was like, "How y'all doing?"
She talks weird. And the thing is, like, she doesn't call the Corona the Corona. She calls it the Coronas. The Coronas is coming from. She was like, everybody, the Coronas is coming from my boys.
Oh, Jeff Garcia said, "Tell everybody about your album." Oh,
yes, yeah. I have a comedy sketch album. Yeah. So, my comedy sketch album, it's pretty much just about my life and just growing up and how I basically see things. It's pretty much all about school. Yeah, my whole life. It's pretty much just making fun of teachers. I had a jerk off for a teacher. His name was Mr. Davis, and he was quite the weirdo. So I made fun of my teachers, and I just made fun of my art teacher, who was a stoner. She talked like this, man, and I just made fun of her, and I just talked about life and what it's like growing up and stuff. So yeah, that's on Spotify and Pandora. Or no, I don't think it's on Pandora. Okay.
Is there a link on your Instagram account?
Yeah, it's on my Instagram. I don't have a link for it yet, but I'm most definitely gonna. Oh my water bottle. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, and I have a short film too.
Oh, awesome. Well, tell us more about that.
Okay, so my short film, I have been wanting to be a director for quite some time. I'm always trying to write new screenplays. Yes, little entrepreneur.
Nice.
I've always wanted to I've just always been in love with cinematography, just anything like that. I love the art of just writing a screenplay too. I love quoting movies, all that. I really enjoy a good screenplay, and I wrote one with Smokey Olmos. He is a comedian. What? Yes, it's on Pandora. Oh yes, Jeff said it's on Pandora. Yes, my Spotify album, special ed edition. That's what it's called. It's on Spotify and Pandora, so go check that out at Ilene.
Nice.
Okay, so my short film, it was pretty interesting. It was out of the blue. I was eating a sandwich, and I was like, I want to make a movie about a homeless man, and that was like that was my big idea. And I was like, so my short film is about a homeless man who finds a bag of chips, or who gets a bag of chips from this woman who is like very snotty and rich, and she doesn't want to give him money because she doesn't know if he's going to use it on drugs and alcohol. So she's like, right, like, I'm not going to give you money. You might use it on booze or whatever, but I'll give you food because I know you're going to eat that. So she gives him food, and it's just his lucky day. And on the hot Cheeto bag, you know, like on the hot Cheeto bag, it says, like, I don't know, you find a giraffe shaped hot Cheeto and you win like $1,000. Well, the homeless man finds that chip.
Okay.
And it has a crazy ending. So go watch it for the ending.
Oh man, you start posting this stuff on YouTube. Do you have a YouTube channel?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't really post like on it. Because I don't really want to be on YouTube too much, but I'm gonna definitely start trying to venture out into it and see what happens.
Well, that's awesome. Let me just follow you. Okay, so you're doing comedy.
Yeah.
You're in school.
Yeah.
You're acting and modeling.
Mhm.
And she looks familiar, by the way, if you ever saw a sign promoting insurance, right?
I was the face of healthcare.
and you're doing a movie. Wow, look at you.
I know.
Man, at
Yeah.
16, I was just trying to get to school on time.
I know.
But
Gosh, I know.
which one excites you the most? Like, which one, like, wow, I can't wait to do it?
Comedy, hands
Comedy?
down. Hands down. I mean, I can't picture my life without comedy. It's just like this thing that's like built inside me. I mean, I love doing acting, and acting was my main passion, but I mean, I could truly say that like I'm in love like with comedy. Like it's all I think about. Like when I should be dreaming about like normal kid things, I'm dreaming about jokes. Like I wake up in the middle of the night, I have a joke. Like I'm so weird like that. Like it's all I think about. So I would have to say comedy for sure. It really changed my life. It just, yeah.
And do you, okay, well, in entertainment, I know there's like, like Eileen, the entertainer, the comedian, the daughter, I, the student. Is it the same Eileen, or you just...
It's the same Eileen. Yeah, I'm crazy on all platforms. At school, I'm just as equally wild. I'm always telling jokes. I'm always trying to do like stand up in class. Like I'm always trying to get up, and it's like I'm to the point where I'm like passing out business cards in school. Like I'm so weird. Like I make sure that everyone knows. Like
you ever ran for president for the school? I think you'll win so easily.
I don't know if I could do that because I don't want to deal with those people. I can't deal with them. Like I don't know. Like we have like these counselor groups at our school, and they're like kids like our age, and like they try to like help each other with their problems. And I don't know if I could like have people come at me all day with like, we want better vending machines. Oh my god!
or how about a comedy club?
You want to know what? That would be pretty great. That would be pretty good. I don't know. Maybe I should bring that up. But like at our school, everyone tries to shut down any type of like outlet that has to do with art. You know, like yeah, my school's weird.
Oh.
They're weird like that. Like I'm surprised we even have a drama program. Like I don't know. They're weird like that.
You know what? I'll tell you what. Let's get that club going. I'm sure we could talk to a few people. We can make it happen.
Yeah. I mean, why not? I mean, if we have a pottery class,
we talk to the principals like, listen, man, laughter, people need to laugh.
Yeah.
And students, they need to express themselves. So as long as we keep it like PG, and you're the president. And once a month you can perform in front of the whole school. And maybe even have Jeff Garcia come and visit.
Yes, that'd be so cool. You want to know what? I talk about him all the time at school. Like all my friends, because he was the voice of Sheen, obviously. Like that's legendary. And all my friends are like, oh, on Jimmy Neutron, he's the voice of Sheen. And they all freak out. They're like, oh, and like they get so crazy. And like people like bow to me. They're like, oh, like people love me now because of Jeff. And I'm like, okay, what? I know Jeff's like my Make-A-Wish Foundation. Like he got me so many friends at school.
What was the funniest joke you ever said?
The funniest joke I ever said.
Like it's your go-to. Like, oh, okay, I know what to say.
I might not be able to say it on here. I don't know. I had some pretty crazy ones. My favorite one. What is my favorite one? Oh, I wrote this joke about okay, so I was at Target and I seen a black lady and a Mexican lady fight, right? Okay. And this black girl was like, oh, you better not mess with me. And she was trying to get all crazy. And then the Mexican girl was like, okay, we'll see you. Like trying to act all like chola, right? And they were just like going at it in Target. And I'm like, this is a moral Walmart thing, you know? And I'm like, God forbid this happens in Target. And they were just going at it. And then I guess like the Mexican lady husband got involved. And she's like, I'll meet you in the street homes to the black girl. And then the black girl called the Mexican girl. Oh, you seen that video? Yes! Yes, that video was crazy. Oh my God. I went out in the parking. Okay, so hold on. Ooh, wait, ahead of myself. So, okay, let me finish.
Finish it. Yeah,
yes, because this is some cheese man. Let me tell you. So, I'm behind the plus size section, and I'm trying to hide behind the model, and I'm trying to videotape it as it's happening, as it's going down, and the black girl calls the Mexican girl a wetback. She's like, "You wetback," and then the Mexican girl's like, and I really pondered the idea, like I really pondered the saying wetback, and I was like, if anything, people should call us Mexicans comebacks, because anytime they try to kick one of us out, we keep on coming back. God, and I get why Mexicans call us hard workers, because we always know how to work our way back in, you know. But that day at Target, let me tell you.
Okay.
I went out in the parking lot, right? And I didn't think anything happened. I was like, they're all talk. Okay. I went in the parking lot, and I kid you not, someone's weave was on the floor. What a coincidence, huh? That's crazy. Someone's weave was on the floor, and I was like, oh man, I bet there was cholos hiding in the bushes. I'm like, oh, I was like, they really handled the thing.
So is this the same stuff that you talk about while you're on stage?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're more yourself. Okay.
And I wonder what they were fighting about too. It's probably like over the last like tampon box or something. I don't know why they were fighting. It's probably something stupid. I'm like, really, you're gonna fight in Target and embarrass us like this? Like,
Yeah,
are you kidding me?
like the other day I saw people fight over toilet paper. I know you have some coronavirus jokes. Come on.
They do. I know. I was talking to my mom, and I was like, man, I guess it's not the black guy we have to worry about anymore. He said, I was all worried. You get it? Yeah, you get it.
Oh man, I'm telling you, there's something about laughter. It's like the best medicine ever. So I'm surprised you even take Tylenol, because you laugh so much. You're good.
I know. Yeah. I feel like comedy is just like a great outlet for anyone who's struggling. Just turn to comedy, you know, like that, because I was bullied in school and stuff like that, like really bad. And I feel like my only
They don't know who you are? They don't know who you are? Come on.
I don't know my name. But no, it was before I even did comedy. It was like through elementary school, through middle school. And I was like super bullied, and everyone was like super cool to me. And it was like, that's the hard thing when you're a little girl to like come back up from, you know. But honestly, it was all thanks to comedy. Like comedy has kept me laughing, and it kept me motivated, and just kept me like such in a good like headspace to, you know, not pay attention to all that negative energy. So yeah, comedy is the best medicine.
All right. So what comedy show are you watching right now on Netflix?
Comedy show?
Yeah.
I really don't watch a lot of shows on Netflix, and our Netflix got hacked. Yes. Our Netflix got hacked. And we called the Netflix, and the guy couldn't help us. And the guy was Indian, and he goes, I don't recall, I can't help you, sir, no. And then my dad was like, yes, it says that my internet got hacked. And the guy's like, I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Because I can't hear you.
He's the hacker.
And the guy was pretending like he couldn't hear my dad. And my dad's like, sir. And he's like, no, I can't hear you. And my dad's like, what's your name? And he's like, Hijabi. And he's like, okay, Hijabi, can you hear me? And he's like, I got to go. And I'm like,
so you did hear him.
Yes, but he didn't want to answer. Because I guess he probably had some other stuff going on. You know, people are busy, but no one wants to talk right now. I mean, like, you know, come on. And my dad called him late. My dad called like text. What did it do, Mom? What was it? The hotline for Netflix. There's a hotline for Netflix. Yeah, and the guy was not having it. The guy was like, he said it's 1 a.m, go to bed. And yeah, he was not having it.
Okay, well, before I go to bed, I try to watch like something funny, because if I watch anything else, I don't sleep well. And like I used to watch a show called Last Man on Earth. I don't know if you ever saw it. It's hilarious. You got to watch it.
What is it like?
Or Family Guy when
I like Family Guy.
Family Guy is funny, or American Dad. It's hilarious.
I like Bob's Burgers.
What is it?
Bob's Burgers. Have you seen it? No, it's about like this guy, Bob, who owns like a burger shop.
Oh, and, like, I remember. Yeah. He's like has like a monotone voice. Like,
yeah.
Good.
Yeah. I like that one.
And he's like, seems like nobody's in the restaurant.
Yeah, and then he argues with like a restaurant, an Italian restaurant, like across the street, Jimmy Pesto's or something like that. Yeah. But yeah, man, there's some good things on Netflix. Too bad I don't have my Netflix anymore. But I've been watching just a lot of comedy specials. I've been watching a lot of Joey Diaz.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're old, bro. Bed. It's 8:30.
But
tell me, you guys, what's your favorite show? What's your favorite funny show?
Yes.
Yeah,
I've been watching a lot of like stand-up comedy, like a lot of like Joey Diaz, like a lot.
Joey Diaz.
Yeah, I love Joey Diaz.
Man, at one point, I used to watch SpongeBob SquarePants.
Mm-hmm.
That show is made for adults, just for the record.
I can't believe I was watching that at such a young age.
About maybe 10 years ago, it wasn't that popular. SpongeBob SquarePants. It was like kind of popular, but it wasn't.
Not really. Yeah.
I kid you not. I was at Burger King, and it's like my family's with me, whatever. And the cashier behind it, was like, she's like, "Do you want ice cream?" I'm like, oh, yeah. Do you want free ice cream? I'm like, yeah. Question. I kid you not. I'm verbatim. That's what she said. But you have to answer this question to get free ice cream.
This is at where?
At Burger King.
Oh, really?
I'm telling you. So all my family's like, saying, like, what's going to happen here? And everybody's looking at me. And I'm like, what? What is the question? And she said, who lives in a pineapple under the tree? Everybody else didn't know. And I was like, SpongeBob SquarePants.
Yeah.
I got free ice cream.
Oh my God. She asked you that? No, your family didn't know. I would have been like, SpongeBob SquarePants. No one knew? Oh my God.
I did at that moment. I was so proud.
My uncle's 17 because I'm 16. Yeah, I know, we're Mexican. My uncle's like such a big fan of like SpongeBob, and he's always quoting it. I swear to God, I know like all the quotes because of him. Nerd.
All right, what's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie.
All time. That you can watch 100 times. It never gets old.
Gosh, I really love The Professional. The Professional?
The Professional? What is it? A comedy or real?
With I forgot her name. What's her name? Oh man, with Natalie Portman. When she was like a little girl. Mm-hmm. It was like in the 90s. Yeah, that was a good one. That's my favorite. Yeah, it's kind of old. Yeah.
All right. Well, all right. Don't judge me.
Mm-hmm. Aladdin.
The original.
You want to know what? Okay, I'm going to tell you a dumb story. So I went to a performing arts school for a very short amount of time. Mm-hmm. And when I was there, there was like a vocal class, and they were putting on the play Aladdin. And I had no singing experience at all. None. I had no singing experience. And I auditioned at my school. And like in front of everyone, and I was like, I can show you the world. And I had no singing experience. I was so embarrassed. And in my head, I thought I was singing beautifully. And all the kids are looking at me like, get off. And I'm like, I was really into it, but I sucked. Now that I think about it, I'm like, I should have just got off. I should have just like stick to comedy. I'm like, wow.
Well, back in the day, you could choose like a ringtone to see what rings. Aladdin was my thing.
Really?
Yeah.
I love Aladdin.
I know.
I was never into it as a kid. But as I got older, I barely watched it at like 13, and then I started watching it, and then I like it.
Well, I liked it until one teacher stopped He wasn't picking at me. He was just making fun of me. And when you're a senior in high school, so the teacher gives you like special privileges. Yeah. So sometimes they give you like Scantron to take it to the front office.
Really? Yeah.
And he always picked me. And he says, Raid, that's my real name.
Yeah.
Take these Scantrons up front. Make sure you hurry up with your carpet.
That's so rude.
Yeah, I know. I was laughing. But back 20 years ago, it was fine. Everybody laughed about it. It was okay. But today, we can't.
Oh my God! If a comedian would say that, they would be canceled. Oh my
But 10
God.
years ago, it was okay.
Yes.
Now you can't.
Now everyone's so sensitive. It's like everything you say, it's like, oh, like you can't even say black. Everyone's like, oh, she said it. It's like the table starts shaking if like anyone says anything. I'm like, gosh.
So do you ever like write jokes? It was like, oh, I don't know if I could say that. Maybe I shouldn't say that.
Oh my God. My parents like to filter me. And it's like, it's so hard because I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, are you for real right now? And they're like, you can't say that. And I'm like, then what am I supposed to talk about? I'm like, I'm like, okay. But no, I don't, like, at my shows, I don't cuss or anything. It's just like, you know, I might just imply something or, you know.
But the thing is, sometimes when you say something, everybody else is thinking it. You just said it.
You know what? Someone had to. Someone needs the guts to do it. But that's what comedy is all about. It's, we're as comedians, we're supposed to say all the stuff that everyone's thinking. That we're supposed to be the people that are supposed to say all the things that everyone aren't pretty much allowed to say. But I don't know. Everyone gets offended.
I know. So when do you draw the line? Like you can't just keep it. If you right now, if comedy becomes like PG, then eventually somebody's gonna complain. Then you're gonna make like a G, like then you have to do like puppets.
Yeah.
Then somebody's gonna complain. Next thing you know, I don't know, it was like stick figure, like just somebody talking about nothing.
No, but I mean, I don't have a problem doing clean comedy. I've done a clean comedy show once.
Okay.
That's a story for another time.
Yes.
but I'm telling you, it was an experience. I'm not gonna say I would do it again, but I'm not gonna say I wouldn't do it again because I feel like my crowd was so different from the crowd that was there. I mean, and the host was trying so hard to like loosen the crowd up because everyone there was so tense. Literally, the host tried giving everyone massages because everyone there was so tense. And I know the crowd, like he was like, everyone get up on your feet, everyone dance, and the crowd started dancing because you could just feel the tension. Like everybody was very reserved, you couldn't say anything, and the host was like, everyone, let's dance a little. And then he's like, you wanna know what? Dancing ain't working. Y'all got no rhythm. So we're just gonna give each other massages. So we started giving everyone like the audience were giving each other like, you know, massages and stuff. And I thought, okay, it was my turn to go up. And I was like, okay, everyone was dancing, everyone had a massage. I'm chilling. Okay, I'm like, you know, they're practically gonna get their masseuse license. I'm like, everyone's cool here. And they looked like they knew what they were doing. And I get up and everyone was so tense, probably even more tense than ever. And I was like, the host just gave you guys a massage. I'm like, why are you guys so tense for? And I was like, whatever.
You would think like if they go to the Laugh Factory or somewhere like the Ice House, they would think like you go there to laugh. Oh, by the way, have you met anybody at the Laugh Factory? Like any big names?
Yeah, I met Tiffany Haddish.
Okay.
Yeah, I met Matt Rife. I met Paul Rodriguez.
Oh, no way.
Paul Rodriguez shook my dad's hand and told him, this one's a moneymaker. And I'm telling you, my dad went home and cried. Like, my dad is such a big fan. I'm telling you, my dad fangirled, and he literally called everyone he knows, like cousins that he hasn't talked to in like 6 years that live in Mexico. He's like, bueno, Paul Rodriguez. And then he was like telling everybody like his little Paul Rodriguez story. And like, I'm telling you, everyone was freaking out. My grandma was like, mija, you're gonna make it big if Paul Rodriguez likes you. And I was like, okay. But I was so honored. But it was, yeah, I met a lot of cool people. I met one of the Wayans brothers. So yeah, I met their cousin. Yeah, it was a really great experience.
That's awesome.
Laugh Factory has opened a lot of doors.
Did you make them laugh or they made you laugh?
It was mutual. No, but yeah. And Tiffany Haddish gave me some really great advice, actually. She gave me some really good advice because when I went on, she pretty much told me the same exact thing that Jeff always tells me. She was like, just slow down because you get on stage, you get too excited, okay? You know, you blur the lines between like telling a story and like going too fast, I guess. And so she told me that, and she told me to like cut the fat or whatever. And I'm like, okay, that's easy. But yeah, so I met her and she was like really funny. She was really cool. I was kind of shy for a second. I was like, oh.
Like how were they? Like, were they like serious backstage? They're like old business, or were they just the same person on stage? also on the backstage?
They were the same. I didn't notice any difference, actually. Everyone was like pretty cool. But the Wayans brothers had to leave early because I guess like they had like a family issue.
Oh.
Like, so yeah, so they had to leave. So they didn't get to stay to see my set, but it was so funny because which brother was it, Mom? It was Sean. Sean. I was on stage. He did this. He had to get this phone call at my time to go up on stage. So it's my turn to go up on stage. I introduced myself, and he's like, hold on, man. And he's like, oh, my brother? He's like, my brother's in the hospital. Oh no, not my brother. And he started crying, and he was well, he didn't start crying, but he started getting upset, like emotional. And he's like, Jamie, to the owner of Laugh Factory, he's like, Jamie, I gotta go, my brother. And then he left. But I was kind of bummed out because he didn't get to see my set. But yeah.
But everything was fine with his
brother? But no, everything was okay. It was something like, I don't know, but yeah, everything was cool. There was nothing major. Yeah, I wouldn't be laughing at it. It was something bad though. Yeah.
Awesome.
Nothing bad happened. He was cool.
Awesome. Well, Ilene, you've been a pleasure. Thank you so much for being on the show. Don't forget to follow her.
Yes, please follow me.
Ilene Delgado. And what's up with your name? I had some hard time. I had to make the I a little bit little.
I know. I feel like my mom had dyslexia. Oh my God. But
no, I figured it out. Because I thought it was 2 L's, especially with like Lilini.
Yeah, Ilene. I don't know why my mom did that. I don't know. I was like, just put an A or like an I or like an E. Everyone because everyone who spells their name Ilene either has it as an A or an I. It's like the easiest way to spell it.
Cool name.
And I'm like, yeah, thank you.
Ilene Delgado. Make sure you follow on Instagram, Ilene Delgado. And she has her album already on Pandora, and you can get a link on her Instagram.
Yes.
So definitely follow her. And she's only 16 years old. Your future is definitely bright. Keep up the good work. And believe me, it will get hard, but just keep laughing and smiling and everything will be all right.
Yes.
Okay?
I agree.
All right. Thank you so much, Ilene. Thank you, Mom. I know she's in the background watching
everything. He said thank you.
Thank you, Ray.
All right.
She said thank you.
And maybe one of them days we'll meet in person for sure.
Yes.
All right. You have a good night.
Bye.
Take care. Thank you so much. Take care,
Bye.
everybody. Bye.